I would like to thank Coca 2005 for sending me this story. And I already knew that this was going to come and flood my email box because I got it quite a few times, but Coca was the first one to send it to me. So John Schnatter, the former CEO and probably at this point the former chairman of Papa John's, is back in the news again and again for pretty much being a dickhead. So we all know last year amid the NFL protests that Papa John's was seeing a decline in their sales. I believe they saw a few percentages in their drop go down, and it actually affected his net worth because John Schnatter at the time, his net worth was well over $800 million. Like he was approaching billionaire status. And he was very upset about that. So he quickly pointed the blame of the reason why his decline happened on the NFL protests. But he must thought people were dumb because the NFL protests didn't really hit hard until the season after his decline. His decline came in January of 2017, but the protests hit around September 2017. So we're talking about damn near a whole year went past. So we knew he was lying and making up some bullshit then. Then he tried to cover it up and everything like that. And then he stepped down as CEO of Papa John's and became the chairman. And then we really didn't hear much about Papa John's after that. Well, now he's back in the news again because in May of this year, during a conference call, it was released that he used the N-word in one of his meetings. Now, this awfully sounds familiar because if you remember a video that I did a couple weeks ago about the PR, the former PR, public relations chief, or the chief PR, however you want to say it, of Netflix, Jonathan Friedland, used the N-word not once but twice in board meetings, and he was exposed and he had to step down. Now, just like with Jonathan Friedland, I know that John Schnatter, ironically both of their names are John, is not going to apologize for what they said. All they're going to say is that, it was wrong and things of that nature, and now he's going to have no choice but to step down as chairman. So at this point, John Schnatter is pretty much not really, to my knowledge, tied to Papa John's anymore. Don't get me wrong, he still has his wealth. He's still going to keep that. It's just that he won't have a title anymore. And of course, he's probably going to try to play the whole PR stunt and say it's not what it sounded like. The usual spill that many of them do when they get caught red-handed. This does not surprise me because when you think of his political leanings and how he is a staunch 45 supporter, none of this should surprise anybody. I mean, he tried to point the finger of blame of his sales for his chain declining because of some protests that weren't really existent at that time, with the exception of Colin Kaepernick and maybe one or two other people before it really took a hit. No, your sales were declining because people didn't want your trash pizza. Notice that places like Little Caesars and Pizza Hut and Domino's, which are the other three big chains, did not see a decline. It was just yours. So it had nothing to do with the protest. It was because no one fucked with your pizza. And I think it's because Papa John's was the face as far as pizza goes with the NFL, which I believe it was. But after all of this, I don't think they'll be the face anymore. I don't think he can afford to take that. Papa John's can afford to take any more hits. I even said that before, but here they have another one. John Schnatter has created, or should I say, dug a hole even deeper for himself that he can't even get out of. So, it is what it is. I mean, I haven't really messed with Papa John's in a very long time, so whatever happens to it, it just simply happens, and it's by his own accord. And see, the thing is, they actually have proof that he actually used that word in a meeting. So it's not just hearsay. Like, there's actual recordings. When it comes to those business meetings and stuff like that, they have to record those You know, just in case something happens and they have to go back and like verify things that have been said. But who knows? And nowadays you can record, like if you didn't know, like you can actually download apps on your phone where you can record conversations and the person on the other end won't even know you recorded the conversation. It's more so for protection purposes, just depending on what the conversation was about. That way you can have proof just in case they try to take you to court over something. You never know in this day and age. And they probably recorded the conversation. He probably didn't know they recorded it. He said what he said. He got caught. And now he will be stepping down as the chairman of that of Papa John's. It is what it is. That is his problem. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. If you haven't done so already, please donate to the channel. Or if you would like to become a patron, the Patreon link is down below. I'll talk to you in the next one.